Okay, guys, so this is the last video in Act 3 before we carry on. So I'm going to do Act 3, Scenes 5 and 6 on here. Today, and then we'll be done for today. Yikes. Okay, so Act 3, Scene 5, on a bleak heath. I love the word heath. We don't use that word really to describe a place or the word bleak. So it's like desolate, unforgiving, an area of land, okay? So we are introduced to Kate, who I just affectionately like to refer to as Me Kate, because, you know, I can. She's the queen of the witches. She's angry at the three Weird Sisters because they have not involved her in their encounters with Macbeth. Knowing that he will seek them out the next morning, however, Kate arranges with them the details of his reception. They plan to lead Macbeth to his downfall by making him feel overconfident. So the witches talk about how are we going to complete this downfall of Macbeth. What is that going to look like? Now we have the Queen Witch. I'm 100% Queen Witch involved, so it's gonna get good. So some things that I wrote in my notes, though, for you guys to be careful as we're viewing, or to be aware of. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear. Okay, so they're going to set him up to not care about death and to let his ambition be higher than his own wisdom, his grace, and his fear. So that is how they're setting him up. And there's a comment about security being a mortal's chiefest enemy. What does that mean? I think we're seeing that in some respects right now with what we are dealing with in the world, right? So what does security mean for us? Is it access to what we need to survive, right? And so for Macbeth, his security is going to be his kingship, his lineage, all of those things, right? Obviously, how his fellow lords feel about him are pretty important because he's he's out for Macduff, right? So I want you to think about that as we move forward. A mortal, a human being, why is security our greatest? What would we be willing to risk or do for our own security? Okay, so this is fairly brief. We're going to listen to this, and then we shall move on.
Now, you look handily. Have I not reason, dull dance as you are, saucy and ever bold? How did you dare to trade traffic with Macbeth in pickles and affairs of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part or share the glory of our art. And which is worse? All you have done has been love for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. But make amends now. Get you gone, and if the tip of Takaron is near morning, Thither he will come to know his destiny. Thistles and your spells provide, the charms and everything beside. I am for the air. This night I'd spend unto a dismal and fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon. On the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. It is very underground, and that, distilled by magic sleights, generate such artificial sprites as by the strength of evolution shall draw him on to his conclusion. He shall spurn fate and scorn death, and there his hopes above wisdom great shall fear. But you all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy. I'm cold. My little spirit, see, sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me. Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again.
Very freaky, honestly. Very freaky. I couldn't have done that justice like that. Okay, so what was the tone of the last scene? Anytime the witches are involved, the tone definitely changes. And not that Macbeth is really like upbeat or vibrant or hopeful in any single way, but I think the word choices for the scenes with the witches really do show how scary, dangerous, kind of sets this mischievous, malevolent tone for us, okay, as readers. So the fatal end, magic sleights, illusion, spiteful, wrathful, okay? So the witches are not like, you know what, Macbeth, our good friend, who we made some prophecies about before, let's just, support him in his kingship. They're like, nah, this is fun. Let's watch this guy fall from grace. This is awesome. Okay? So definitely setting him up for this tragedy, really. Act 3, Scene 6, Lennox and another lord discuss crimes they now are certain have been committed by Macbeth. So this is definitely, I put in my notes, a turning point for Macbeth's kingship. When the other lords are openly and defiantly discussing him and the crimes that they're sure that he has committed, okay? They also review new developments. Macbeth is furious because Macduff refused to attend the banquet. Malcolm is safe at the court of Edward, the King of England, and Macduff is on his way to join Malcolm and seek England's military assistance to attack Macbeth. And Macbeth is making preparations for defense. Scotland, they say, is filled with fear and suffering, and everybody just wants a return to normality. So on one side of this, we have Macduff, who is going to go to England and meet with King Edward and Malcolm and come up with a way to overthrow Macbeth. So Macbeth is right to think that this guy is acting suspiciously, right? And then we have Macbeth over here. And he is, preparing for Macduff, who he's certain, because he didn't come to the weird banquet, the weird ghosty banquet, he's certain that Macduff is plotting something. So this paranoid little fella is up in it. Like, he's getting really paranoid with Macduff, and he's going to start making some even worse decisions. Okay, let's listen to Act 3, Scene 6.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry? He was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleos killed for Fleos fled. And must not walk too late. We cannot well have thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father. Damn, in fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not state in pious rage that two delinquents teared with the slaves and drinking thralls asleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too. For to the anger then he had to lie to hear them end the night. So that I say, he has borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, as I please heaven he shall not, they should find what 'twere to kill a father. So should Fleos. But peace. For from broad words, and cause he fail of his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant boasted to a birth, lives at the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither Macduff is come to pray the holy king upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike Seward, that by the help of these, the thing above to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets and bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honours, all which we pine for now. And this report has so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent you to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute, "Sir, not I," that cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums, as who should say, "You'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer."
And that well might advise you to a caution to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England, and unfold his message ere he come. And a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Okay, so the status of Scotland since Macbeth has become king, people are not doing well. They do not have meat on their tables. They cannot sleep at night. And people are just being killed here and there. Okay, Banquo just being one of them. So there needs to be a change. The Lords of Scotland know this. And so it's likely they're going to side with Macduff, who's gone to England, to get some support for overthrowing Macbeth. And so we shall continue. On Tuesday, I will post some information for Act 4, where we see the coming to catastrophe, okay, in Shakespearean tragedy. So please, guys, give me some feedback. Let me know how you are making out. I'm going to change up a little bit of how assessment is going to work for this. So you're going to have a rather big individual project rather than small pieces as we work through this. Okay, so just and I'm learning and you're learning. So I thank you greatly for your patience, and I wish I could see you all with my own eyes. My grandma used to say, "Till I see the whites of your eyes." I think that's kind of nice. So I hope you all are doing well, and I will check in a couple of days.